Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Armoury. Welcome to the Arsenal Sporting Lisbon preview. I was going to be joined by two wonderful guests. One is in a place where you literally cannot hear a single thing, and Brenny is currently on his way back and will hopefully join me as soon as possible. So, while it's just me, I'm going to talk about the last fixture that we had against them because obviously it's the second leg. A lot of people saying, Sporting were a lot better. I did say that we should respect Sporting, and they were a good side. They are a good side. There's no disrespecting them there. But this was the stats from the first leg. So we dominated possession with 61%, 14 attempts to their 10. 47 attacks to their 19, 9 corners to their 3, passing accuracy with 87% to their 75, double the amount of passes completed, double the amount passes attempted. Balls recovered were just about beaten, 1 offside, 6 saves for Sporting, 4 for us, 2 yellow cards apiece. So it was 2-2. Sporting, for me, got a deserved draw. They played very well. Arsenal just weren't at it, but we still dominate the stats, even though we weren't at it. So that makes me a little bit optimistic for tomorrow. Obviously, it all depends now on what we do tomorrow, lineup wise. Do we go strong? Do we go weak? Who knows? Let's get into some comments already, though. Big up to Moss. Yep, good match tomorrow. I will be doing the watch on tomorrow. Oh yeah, now my people. Wish I could be on. It's too noisy at the tunnel TV. Liverpool funeral loading. I'm locked in now. Yes, I did hear the noise, and honestly, you wouldn't be able to hear Niger whatsoever. Big up to Gums. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope Sporting keep trying to open us up versus us, and Odegaard's Tross will smash them. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? This is where there is so much conversation about who are we going to pick? Are we going to go strong? Are we going to pick Jesus? I wouldn't pick Jesus in at all whatsoever. And I have been joined by my wonderful pod brother, as we now like to call him. He's my pod brother. It is Brenny. Hello, Brenny.
I made it. I made it. I made it.
Like I said, I'll start it and I'll just go for a little bit of gump for you. I've just gone through the stats from the first leg, to explain that.
Yeah.
Yes, we drew, but we did dominate him. We didn't have a good performance, but we did dominate him in all the stats. So I'm not too concerned whatsoever. I'm just going to go through some more comments. I guess hard to say if Partey or Jorginho to play, maybe Martinelli. Yeah, it's honestly, I've got 9 different squads. No one is agreeing on the squads at all. I hope the players are up for it tomorrow. I'm under the impression Arteta want Europa more than the players. We seem locked into the Prem. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Save for Jesus for Vieira Palace. 1970 Pro Brenny, and evening to Luke. So, as we've always got, I always do the previous fixtures. Obviously, we've now played them once more since we last played them. So we now played them 5 times. One twice, drawn 3, lost 0. Don't know why I've put that fixture in, actually. Now I've just realised. But never mind, because we're playing at home. But the previous 2 fixtures, I was obviously just away with the fairies when I was typing this up. So yeah, we've played them previously at home twice, beaten 3-0, and last time we played them at home, we drew 0-0. So, we know what we're expecting from them now.
Yeah.
If you can remember the first leg, we weren't that impressed, were we, with the performance from us? It was slightly lackluster, but we still got a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing, is it? When you're not at your best and you get something out of it. I think that's the hallmarks of a really, really good team. I find,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel that Mikel Arteta knows what to do now. We're at home now. We'll have the crowd as well. I'm sure he'll pick a stronger side.
Yeah.
and he knows what to expect. I think they got a couple of players suspended as well, haven't they? Not too sure exactly. I think they got two players who played last week who are missing tomorrow
Yeah.
as well. So
Maurice is out. Yeah. The
yeah,
Japanese
you know
guy
what I
is
mean.
out. Yeah.
And I've been like I've seen a few of their games and highlights from last few weeks, and they're very inconsistent
Yeah.
as
They are.
well. And I know away from home they're not was the greatest, but at home obviously they're strong. But I feel we'll have too much from them tomorrow. Seriously, with regards to the side that Mikel Arteta puts out tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Big up to G Talks. Hope you're doing
Yep,
well.
true.
Talking about the schedule that we've got out. Yeah, we've got the schedule out. My watch along isn't on there. Neither is the preview lounge on Friday because they're locked. So it's like that's all settled. The hosts are settled. So yeah, I will be doing the watch along tomorrow. So yes, that will still be happening. Evening to Silver. Evening guys work is mental, but yes, there is a certain horse event at the moment, which Lucas just said. And it's looking for Sporting, I think, fifth
Tottenham.
behind Braga. They're fourth. The last I remember, they're fourth. I believe. I might be
They
wrong.
are.
But yeah. They don't tend to travel well now, especially England. Correct.
No, they don't.
Exactly. So first, we're going to talk about them a little bit before we talk about the actual lineups that we've gone for. As I did say, there is 9. Unbelievably, 9. But yes, we'll go into those in a minute. But first, it is this. And I have changed it due to the fact that there has been some changes in their formation and their lineups as well. So we're going to stay, and I have put him in this time because I did say I didn't rate him last time. So I thought I'll play it safe this time. I'll rate him, and then he can flop tomorrow. I am safe. But Paulino, he did give us problems, to be fair.
He did, yeah.
But I still don't think he's. I just don't like. He's not my type of striker. I guess that's probably what it is. But he has played 32, scored 14, got 9 assists. His ratings are right. It's not brilliant. Pedro Gonçalves, I thought he was brilliant against us.
Yeah, he played well.
I'll be surprised if he's stood at Sporting Lisbon next summer because I think he's absolutely brilliant. Marcus Edwards, again, gave us issues. He's always going to give us issues. I'm sure he'll do it again tomorrow, but he's having a great season there. Play 39, 10 goals, 11 assists, 7.11.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back here at some point.
I think he's good enough. I think he's talented enough. I know we can all say, "Oh, he's ex-Tottenham and all this," but he doesn't care. He doesn't. I saw him celebrate when he scored against Tottenham. So he doesn't care. And I have to say him again because he was a pain in our butt last week. He even scored a goal as well. But he is so talented as a centre back. I know a lot of people said like Coates as well. Yeah, he's all right. But I do like Inacio. And I have gone for one. Because the Japanese guy is suspended, we should be seeing Manuel Igata. Now, I know he doesn't get any goals or assists, but he is one heck of a tough cookie in the midfield. He's strong with a challenge. So, yeah, he's going to give Odegaard a bit of a problem tomorrow if he does play. Now, I have spoke to a Portuguese expert, shall we call him, and he's gone for the expected lineup for Sporting Lisbon, and this is what he's done. So big up to Tiago Ferreira, who's gone for this lineup. He has gone for a change in goal. Now, I don't know enough about Sporting Lisbon to know why they would have changed their goalkeeper, but it's very, for me, it's very much kind of the same. Escargio was the right wing back that I remember. I thought he played quite well against us, but that's the team we're expecting again. So Paulino, Trincao, I thought was quite good. You know, he didn't do very well at Wolves, but I thought he did all right against us. But yeah, so what are you expecting tomorrow? Are you expecting the same for Sporting or just less?
Well, I'm expecting slightly. I mean, they're probably well, like I said, they have 2 suspended players. For the life of me, I cannot remember who, but it was something I read earlier on today. And and also, I'm, you know what? I'm not expecting a lot from them. It's maybe because we're the home side, I suppose. They'll show a lot of endeavour, a lot of passion. You know, they'll enjoy their time at the Emirates, and
Yeah.
but you know, they have some talented players, some young players as well, like the ones we've just
Yeah.
discussed. But I feel I don't have anything to worry about. You know, my worry was last week,
Yeah.
and you know, the fact we came out of there, you know, we didn't get beaten.
Yeah.
You know, I thought had we lost that game 3-1 or 2-1, it would be a very tough fixture because they would have to they'd really park the bus, you know.
Yeah.
But no, Bobby, I've got no qualms about that side. I mean, they could play wherever we want because this Arsenal is good enough to beat Lisbon. You know, I'm not it's not, you know, I'm not bragging or nothing like that, but we should be dealing with these sides, putting them to bed.
Yeah, just quickly going for some comments. Would you would you guys sign Edwards as competition for Saka? He is good,
Mm,
but I don't know if that's why. I know Arsenal have got everything in line now. They know who they want to sign,
mm.
and we'll go after them when it's the
Be a
time is right.
squad player.
Yeah, he's a good squad player, but do we want a bit
Mm.
better than the squad player? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll
Uruguayan's,
definitely. You always want better. You always want
yeah.
better.
Yeah, Uruguayan's always borderline dirty. I do like Agate though. I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah.
Romero definitely. Yeah, he's always on that yellow card cusp
Mm,
every he goes into. Trincao always tricky. Yes, he is. Good points, Brenny.
mm.
Uh, okay. I don't know what it's all about. Big ups.
Oh,
What month of year are you in 74?
yeah. September.
September. There. Right. Let's get back to football. Right. This is the first formation and lineup that people went for. This was Moss, but I know Moss has changed it since because he just wants to be a pain. But big up to Moss, Nicholas, Albert, and Ozzy Guna that went for this lineup. They went for Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Sinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard. Now, do you think that's too strong, or do you have zero issues with that squad?
I have no issues with that whatsoever. Um, yeah, I would, you know, get three goals first half.
Yeah, make changes
Um,
as quick as we
get
can.
get get yeah, get another one, and then 5 substitutions. Palace Sunday. There, that's it, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Ozzy said this morning when because he wrote this and then did a voice note in our
Yeah.
WhatsApp, didn't he? And that's pretty much what Ozzy said. Get it done,
Mm.
get them off, and
Yeah.
just rest for the rest. And I do actually get it because why not? The only thing I would say is I think it'd be harsh on Turner, only because this is the only competition he's ever going to play in. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
unless Ramsdale gets injured. But
I mean, I agree with that. With the Turner thing, it's just that I'm sure he'll start tomorrow
yeah,
because
I'm sure he will.
I never went with Turner. But you see, if we reach the final, you just know that Turner's not going to start.
Yeah,
But then again, saying that, you got to be ruthless at times, isn't it? When you're in a final with your goalkeeper. I mean, Arsene Wenger did that. I mean, look at when he had was it he had Stuart Taylor and Richard Wright. I think they all played FA Cup games in 2002. When the final came about against Chelsea, he showed his ruthless side and brought back David Seaman, the number one at the time. So
yeah,
yeah, but it would be harsh. I do
he
agree.
would. Yeah. Before we go into yours, team, I just want to say big up to Matthew. He is our new FTSN family, so big up to you, mate. It was great chatting
See
with
you in
you
that.
on Monday. He is a Man United fan, just so everyone's fully aware. But
Oh,
he's an
I was going to buy him
FTSN,
a
so
drink. I was gonna buy him a drink, man, but you know, £2.99 take Patrick's Day for Guinness, man. You know what I mean? At Weatherspoons now, it's not happening now. Sorry, mate.
But this is your lineup here, Brenny, and also Jack went for it. So you went for Ramsdale, Tommy, Saliba, Gabriel Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard. Go through your lineup. Explain why you chose who you chose, mate.
Do you know what? I was listening to Dan Potts earlier on, and he he wants a full strength side as well. Basically, what we just said, what we just discussed, and he also said, but I wouldn't say no to Tommy Asu or Tierney coming in for Ben White and Zinchenko. You
Yeah.
see, for me, Tommy Asu still needs minutes, more minutes. So does Tierney, and they proved that they did well for us last season. And I know for a game like Palace, which is huge, it's absolutely huge. I just want us to keep that pairing of Saliba and Gabriel because both of them I thought were exceptional on Sunday. Keep that pairing, just keep that, because winning breeds more confidence, every game.
Yeah.
Keep that centre half pairing. Tomiyasu, Tierney, in for White and Shinchenko. Yeah. I'm all, like I said, I'm all for that. And plus, we know the work that the fullbacks have been doing this season.
Yeah.
They've been putting in a lot. And obviously supporting Saka and Martinelli on the right and left respectively, you know what I mean? So just get the job done early and then get the substitutions done.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm totally with you on this. I just want to say, Luke, that's hilarious, but he does work with me on the FTSN. So big up to you, Matthew. We love you really.
Just to summarise on that as well, Bobby. It's because it's like I was saying the other day when we was on the show with Canners.
Yeah,
this would be, if this was a year from now, Champions League.
Yes.
Last 16. This would be the side. Well, it'd be Zinchenko and Ben White. This would be the side. So let's go out and win both competitions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we don't, I want us to win Europa, but if we don't get that and we get semi-final, we get knocked out, but we win the league, I'll be happy. Still a successful season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Totally agree. Big up to Gunner King now. Obviously, he's gone for a different idea. Wants to rest a few more and thinks that these ones are capable of doing the job. So he's gone for Turner, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Kivior, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Xhaka, Odegaard, Vieira, Nelson, and Trossard. I'm not a total great fan of this one, if I'm honest. I think this is a little bit too weak. And I'm not having a go at Kivior. It's nothing to do with him. I think I kind of get where people are going with Vieira on the right. It doesn't look great at the moment. I do think he's more central midfield. I wanted him as a central midfielder anyway. Never wanted him as a right winger. Nelson on the left. He's all right, but this is still Sporting Lisbon. It's not. I'm trying to think of a poorer Portuguese team, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. But I think this is a bit too weak. I know Gunner King did explain it in the WhatsApp group as well, and did totally different opinions to Steve. But what's your opinion on this one?
I'm looking at that midfield. We'd win the midfield battle.
Yeah.
That midfield's strong. It is strong. I mean, Vieira, I thought he did all right last week. I mean, he got slated by quite a number of fans. I'm thinking, why? Because from what I saw, I thought he did all right. I thought he did well. It is a strong team. It's not as strong as the other ones, but maybe it's the fact that we're at home. Maybe Gunner King probably wouldn't have chosen that side if we was away from home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it could be that, but I would say, but then you'd get you'd have substitutions anyway from that. I'm sure Mikel, if he chose that side tomorrow, would be. It's not a bad side, but then Kiwior, he needs more minutes as well.
Yeah,
and I didn't think he did bad. I thought he did okay last week.
Yeah,
for his first start, and also, you know what, you don't become a Poland international overnight.
Exactly, you don't.
You know what I mean? So because we've got a lot of internationals in the squad now. So yeah, it's not a bad side.
Yeah,
me personally.
It's just but Guna Rob would go with that one. He'd also go for ESR for Xhaka. So big up to you, Guna Rob, 81. Yeah, it's just not my favourite, to be honest. But there's been, as I said, there's 9 selections. There's a lot of good selections. That's just probably one of my weakest. Big up to Tony. No surprise who's in the back line. I do give him
you
3.
put Gabriel in the back line. Gee, why put Gabriel in there, man?
I'm sure he loves the fact that I give him the privilege of being the manager. So he's always going to pick his favourite. I do think actually holding against Paulino would actually be a good battle, actually, because Paulino does need someone that's strong against him.
Yeah.
So he's basically got 2 centre backs that are strong. So Paulino will probably be cancelled out of the game, to be honest. But what do you think of that one, though, from Tony?
Yeah, that's strong.
I like
that's
that
strong. I do like that one. It's good enough to win tomorrow night, definitely.
Yeah.
Holding for me, it's like I said, he's one of those players. I've said it before, like you give him a run in the side and he'll do a job for you, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's the side with a number of players. It's like last season when we gave Cedric that run and he did quite well in that run.
Yeah.
You know. So it's midfield's good. I mean, Jorginho, he would hold it together. He's no party, but he would still do a job. We've said that already.
Yeah.
And I've been impressed with Jorginho already. Vieira, another thing just to talk about with Vieira is that it's like you get some players who are always, when they're playing against their countrymen, it always gives them a lift.
It does, yeah.
You know, and that's what I felt with him last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I reckon if he figures tomorrow, I think he'll have a better game than he did last week. So,
no doubt.
You know, Reece Nelson. See, with Reece Nelson, when he starts games, or if he start a game over years, he hasn't been bad. But I feel when he's fit and when he's in the squad, I always feel that he's more of an impact sub.
Yeah.
He does so well when he comes off the bench. You know what I mean? Compared to the starts that he's had for us. You know, for me tomorrow night he would be on the bench anyway. But Martinelli and Trossard, they have this telepathy right, you know what I mean? Kind of like Martinelli and Jesus at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And up to the point where Jesus got injured. So those two that's a great combination as well, the two of them. I like the way they interchange, you know, and it's a good side.
I like that one. G Talks has gone again, a little bit different. Turner, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, Sinchenko, Jorginho, Xhaka, Vieira, Nelson, Martinelli, Trossard. So obviously he's resting Odegaard, which I get. It's not much different to the previous one. But yeah, I think Vieira, that is his position. Central midfield, creative. And you're spot on about him playing against fellow countrymen, I suppose you want to call them, because obviously he was at FC Porto. He would love to knock Sporting Lisbon out. Let's be honest. He would love it. For me, Nelson down the right just doesn't look right. I don't know what it is. I prefer him down the left for a start. I think he's got a very good left foot. But yeah, I think he's more of an impact sub.
Yeah.
So again, it's not a bad lineup. I think we would win the midfield again.
Yeah.
Nelson down the right. Yeah, not too bad. But I as much as I want Saka to be rested, I'm struggling to find anyone to go down on the right.
I know. Yeah, me too. You know, and that back four solid.
Yeah.
You know, and then Zinchenko would then slot into midfield. But then what I saw as well with Zinchenko, when you see at times like when I know it's done it a few times, but against Fulham, he'd come into the centre midfield and then you'd already have Gabriel be covering at left back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Partey would slot in next to Saliba, centre half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously have Ben White, and I like that. I like the way we cover for each other. You know what I mean? In this role, and you know, and if Zinchenko starts tomorrow, that it'll be the same tomorrow. But then again, Zinchenko, well, he's just different class, isn't he? But yeah, it's a strong back line, midfield
It is.
strong, you know, and Nelson. You see, I know Martinelli and Trossard would perform tomorrow if that was the lineup.
Yeah.
Reece Nelson, yeah, more of an impact sub. He's great, super sub,
Yeah.
because
Exactly. Yeah.
he has been a super sub.
And we've had a lot of those
Yeah.
players in our time at Arsenal. Just a lot of super subs. They don't tend to do that well starting. Don't know what it is.
Yeah.
That's football though sometimes.
Yeah.
Big up to Luke and Mehmet for this one. Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Trossard. I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
Apart from the party, I do want to rest him. I think we need him against Palace, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
That's my only problem is we need to rest Partey. And Jorginho has proved enough for me that, you know, he can just come in and take over Partey's role. So yeah, I think we've said enough really about these teams now, because there's little tinkerings. There's not many big changes, but it's a lot of tinkering. But would you actually want Partey rested as well?
I would. Do you know what? I would. Yeah, because no disrespect to Sporting Lisbon. I mean, I know I picked Partey, but that was mainly because I just want him to get the job done early.
Yeah.
But you know, but Jorginho can come in and you know, for him as well. But then again, if that was the case and we were cruising, I wouldn't want to see Partey come on at all. Only if we were struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, it's. I look at it now. It's just 2 games now, isn't it? And then it's the international break. So yeah, I would. But yeah, but like I said, in my opinion, I would start him. But then if Jorginho was going to come in place of him, I'd have no problems with that.
Yeah. It's got to that point now where we don't actually mind certain players being dropped, and that again reminds me of, like, for me, 90s Arsenal going to Highbury, going to get the programme, not knowing who will be in the squad, but you're not that bothered because you know you're going to trust them anyway. So it's bringing back 90s memories for me, so I'm happy about that. Big up to Akpos, who is now part of the Gunsingers WhatsApp. We've finally got him involved in these now. So this is your day.
Big signing, big signing.
It is a big signing, yeah. So we'll hopefully see Akpos on stream soon. Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Trossard. So he's pretty much gone with what we've just talked about. Strong, get the job done, rest Partey. So we're happy with that lineup. So big up to Akpos. And Akpos was very adamant about getting the job done, resting some players. You know, hopefully maybe see Cozy Dubry have 30 minutes tomorrow would be lovely. Because if we are free up, I'd love him to tear them apart at the back, because I reckon he's an absolute nightmare.
I'd give him, you know, if we're cruising, I'd give him 15 minutes, Bobby. Maybe 20.
Because he's got so much energy. I just love the kid. He's one I'm excited about the most at the moment at Arsenal.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
Now, Sapvik went for something a little bit more different. He went for Turner, White, Saliba, Kivior again, Tierney, Jorginho, Partey. I do kind of get this. I would like to see this Partey as a number 8. Vieira, Saka, Nelson, Martinelli. Now, I have zero issues about this squad at all when Sapvik gave it to me. Now, I will big up Sapvik, because I did ask everyone last week before the Fulham game to give me the lineups. And unfortunately for Sapvik, I didn't see his message until all the lineups were done. He actually chose Trossard. He actually chose him and chose how long Jesus would come on for. And I checked the time. It was before the game. So he predicted Trossard would start. He was the only one that did it. I have to big up Satvic. You are in the Gunslingers group. I know you're part of the Armoury family, so I have to pick you up because that was brilliant. And he has gone for prediction that Jesus will only play for 30 minutes this time. So I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this space. I'm going to watch this team. If this is the exact team, Satvic, I don't believe you're in India. I do believe you're working for Arsenal. That's what I'm going to say. I do know you're in India. Don't worry, Satvic. I know you're in India. But yeah, the fact that he predicted that was amazing. But I did have to say that about him because it's just brilliant. But I do like this team, and I would be quite happy for this team to come start tomorrow. I like it. What do you think personally?
Yeah, I think it's a very strong lineup. Nelson on the left. I mean, he'd cut him, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Party in a number 8. We know he has played there before, hasn't he? I'm sure he has for Atletico, yeah. But I think that'd be a really good combination with Jorginho and Party. Strong. They'd win the midfield battle. Vieira pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And Saliba and Kyrgios again would reignite the partnership from last week.
Yeah.
And if they are going to partner each other, so I'm sure they've worked on plenty of things in training. So Tierney, we'd always know. You know what, Tierney, I don't want him to see him leave the club. Because I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
very strong side, Satvic. Very strong.
I like what he's done. As for Tierney is not unwanted by Arteta. It's more of a case of I think we will let Tierney decide what he wants for him.
Yeah,
because obviously he's a Scottish international. He is up against, weirdly, being Scottish, up against one of the very best left backs they've also got in Andy Robertson. So he does need to play. If he wants that spot, he needs to play in and out because otherwise Robertson's always going to get picked. And I do get it for Tierney. So I hope something is agreed somewhere along the line because I don't want him to go. I've always wanted him. I love him. I was excited when we were going to get him from Celtic. I was quite surprised we were going for him, but I was very happy to see him come. But yeah, big ups to Satvic anyway on this team. I thought it was very good. The last one is the most loved. This has been chosen by King, Josh, Tim, Jonas, and Carlos. Now they've gone for Turner, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard. So basically, the strongest possible. Resting Zinchenko and resting Ramsdale. I like this one. This is probably my favourite out of all of them. To be fair, they're all very good. They're all very, very good. But yeah, I like this one. What do you think of this one? You happy with that one?
Yeah, very happy with that one. Do you know, I've noticed in all the lineups, none of us have started with Jesus.
Yeah, no one has.
Jesus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's he'd probably have a cameo from the bench or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is a strong lineup. I mean, to be honest, I think they're all very good this week.
They are, yeah. Even though I've had it's so many lineups because normally the lineups are so many because we just lost, had a bad performance, and the lineups are just like massive. If we win, normally it's like 2 or 3, and I have to like find ways of getting some interesting formations out there. But this way, it's just little tinkerings here and there, and people changing goalkeepers and stuff like that. But yeah, so let's get into some comments before we do the challenge because we are going to do the challenge again. Because we've we did Sporting last week and we know what they've got now. So maybe there might be new players that we might like. I have to impress. I was impressed by a couple of more of theirs last week. I have to go with that. Let's go into some comments. Didn't really want to play Party, but needs Moss because the tie is so finely balanced. Yeah, I do get it. I think a lot of people, it's a 50-50 call on that one. Yeah, it's a tough call. I like Georgie and TP. Resting Xhaka for once. I'm not bothered about resting Xhaka or not, to be honest. He's not someone that I feel he's necessary in our squad right now. He's doing very well. He's having a good season. But yeah, Moss talking about other games happening. Moss no watch longs. Give Munzie. Yep. I'm trying to think what else is actually relevant. I will talk about that in another show, Moss. Right. So let's get into the challenge. And obviously it is going to be the challenge. And Brenny, I think you did it last time with Sporting, didn't you?
Yes.
You did. So
Yeah.
he knows exactly what's happening. So here we go. Now, before we get into it, I've just Shane Curtin has just asked a brilliant question, and I'm going to wait to that until we've done this, Shane, because it is a very good question. I do want Brenny's opinion on it, so I have starred it so I don't lose it, and we will definitely ask that after this challenge. So the difference between last week and this week is it's our formation because we're the home team.
Yeah.
So it might just change it a tiny bit, maybe. I think we had 3 at the back last week, didn't we? Am I right?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
It's isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be slightly different because of that. So the Sporting Lisbon players first, please. Who are we going with first?
Okay. I'll go a little different this time because I didn't choose him last week. We'll go with Morita. Hidemasa Morita.
Right, we can put him in centre midfield or CDM.
Putting him in centre midfield, please.
Yeah. Okay. There he is. Haha. Hidemasa Morita. Okay, your second player, please, mate.
Okay. Got to go with Marcus Edwards again. I mean, I just think he's something else.
We could put him on the right wing, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Honestly, he's so talented. You can see why he left Tottenham, to be honest, because he's good.
Yeah, exactly. more chance of a trophy as well.
Yeah. Your third player, please, mate.
Okay. Nuno Santos.
Okay, where do you want to put him? Because he can play multiple roles. He can play left back, and he can play left wing.
That's right. At left back,
please. Yeah, no
left
problem.
Back. Yeah, put him at left back.
I do like this guy myself. Right, your fourth player, please.
I would go Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte. I would play him. Play a CDM in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Manuel Ugarte, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, your fifth and final Sporting player, please.
I'll go with last time.
I think you went for Cortez and Ignacio, I think.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, because we had 3 at the back, didn't we?
Not this time. I think I'll mix it up a bit because I was looking at the players earlier on today. Go with who's the Brazilian guy? Defender. Sugar.
The Brazilian one. Hang on.
Reis. Reis. Begins with M.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
a right. Is he a right back?
I think he's a right back. Yeah. We'll have him at right back.
There you go, Matthias.
That's the one.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, got it.
Brazilian right backs. Well, you know.
Exactly. Right. So goalkeepers. Cole Hine. Yep. Cool.
Yes, please.
Is it Ramsdale? Yeah.
No, go with should be England's number 1.
Yes. Right. Centre backs will be going for Saliba and Gabriel.
Yep. the best centre back
Saliba.
pairing in the Premier League.
Find. There we go. Right. The last centre midfielder. Who are you going to put alongside Morita and Ugarte?
Martin Odegaard, please.
Martin Odegaard. Okay. Left winger. Who are you going to choose?
Man of the moment, Leandro Trossard.
Okay. Striker.
Well, it's a choice between Martinelli and Jesus, and as much as I love them both, it's got to be Jesus.
Yeah, I already typed it in. I already typed.
Well, you know, innit? You know what I mean?
I've been doing you with too long now. I know you're going to go. Okay, so we've got Ramsdale in goal. We've got Reece, Saliba, Gabriel, Santos, the back four. You've got Ugarte, Morita, and Odegaard in midfield. Edwards and Trossard and Jesus. You know what? That I wouldn't moan if any of those five signed for us to be honest, and just boosted up. I think that's a very good lineup.
I'm surprised if one or two of them, even three of them, are gone this summer from Lisbon.
Yeah. You've done a very good job again. Someone's saying that there's been an amazing goal for Brighton. Obviously, as you can see, I'm not actually watching
tonight.
Yeah, Crystal Palace versus Palace.
Yes.
Is it Southampton
versus Palace versus Brighton and Southampton versus Brentford, isn't it?
Yeah. So there are. Let's see. But yes, I want to get into this comment now from Shane Curtin. I do love it because it is a very good question, and it is one we're going to pose probably over the next 2 weeks on the international break, because there will be some content coming out which is more questions than it is about games, because there's no games. So where does ESR fit in our team? Is he potentially looking to leave in the summer? I'm going to ask you your opinion. I'm not going to give my opinion because I'm going to wait to do the show. But What's your opinion on ESR?
ESR. I rate him highly.
Yeah.
I think he's a quality player. I think I personally feel that what Arteta's doing is that I think in some ways he's trying to protect him. I think maybe overprotect him. Maybe that's why we haven't seen him start many games. You know what I mean? Trying to get him minutes. You know, because he's prone to injuries. I hope he doesn't leave the summer, because I think, for next season, because we're definitely going to be in the Champions League next season. I mean, barring a miracle.
Yeah.
I think he'll have an important part to play. There'll be more games next season. You know what I mean? There'll be more games to the point where, apart from the League Cup, I feel we will be playing. It'll be full strength teams, full strength lineups, or maybe bring in two. For example, Smith Rowe could feature in a Champions League fixture next season if Martin Odegaard's injured.
Yeah.
Or maybe and even if Fabio Vieira's fit, maybe the boss would probably think, you know what, Mill, you're match fit. I need you to do a job for me. So because then if he goes, then you're gonna spend money on someone who probably isn't even as good as he is, for example.
Yeah.
And with the academy kids, I've always had that love and respect for academy kids. You know what I mean? Because you never want to see them leave.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's like Stephen Hughes. He was one. I never wanted to see him leave, and he left and went to Everton. I was gutted when he left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like David Hillier. When I look back, I was like 16 when he came into the side, and I was like, David Hillier, what is this? But you can see he did a job. He was he was a good man marker, ball winner. So he did a job under Graham. You never want to see these lot leave. I hope he doesn't. But I feel he's still got a part to play this season as well.
I do
I
hope
still
so.
feel he has. I don't want to see him go.
Yeah. Tony's saying you're going to leave St. Just out. I don't pick the 5, so don't have a go at me. But I will say that run back last week to cut out Martinelli was impressive by St. Just. He has got some extreme pace to that kid. He is quick.
Yeah.
But guys, I would love you all to put your predictions in the chat if you possible, because I will ask Brenny and I will come up with mine as well, because I haven't even thought about it before now, which is a bad idea. So what is your prediction for tomorrow?
4-1. I'm going big. 4-1
You are
tomorrow.
going big. Wow.
It's not like me, but 4-1. And I think if we're going with a really strong lineup tomorrow, for me it'd be just continuing from that amazing first half we had against Fulham. I know second half we picked it up a bit, but I'm expecting a great performance tomorrow from the lads, regardless of who's selected.
Yeah.
4-1.
I won't give mine. I won't give mine. Just give it some people some time to put the predictions in. And Tony's gone big as well. Don't think Brighton. No, I don't think either of them are on. I think it's all Champions League as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yes. That's a good point actually, isn't that? Isn't it Real Madrid Liverpool tonight?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'll be watching that.
But yeah, likewise.
Stephen Hughes, David Hillier. There's a couple of names for the youngsters to Google. Yeah. For me, it was Brenny because he actually came to Wolves.
Yeah.
I love that kid.
Yeah.
He's such a nice kid as well.
I liked him. Yeah.
If you can, there's he did an interview, which is very, very much worth listening to about him and his mum and his family. Now, yeah, he's a very interesting young gentleman and very grounded. And if he, I'll share it in the WhatsApp group with everybody else because it's very interesting about him, and I did grow so much more respect for him once I heard this story about him. It's just amazing. Luke has gone for 3-0. I know exactly why you've gone 3-0 as well. It's in relation to sadly the loss of Stephen Fleetley. BX has gone for 2-0. Tony's gone for 5-0. Okay. And what does he put? Holding hat trick. Fair enough.
That's like 500,001 in it for the bowling hat trick.
Moss has also gone for 3-0. Now, drum roll, because it's mine. I don't know. This one's tricky. I think we will. Okay, I know we will win. I'll go with that one. It's whether or not how many goals we get. I think it's only going to be 2-0. I'd love a 3-0 because then we can rest loads of players and I think get
those goals early.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going to struggle. That's the bit I think we're going to struggle with is getting the early goals.
Yeah,
I hope I'm wrong.
I don't want us to be patient. I really don't.
Yeah, I want us to put them to the sword.
Yeah.
Get the early, like we did against Fulham, to be honest, just attack, rip them apart, and then rest when we can. And he needs to eat. What I will say about Arteta is he needs proper man management tomorrow. He needs to go, okay,
100%.
Get these players off, get those on, give them some playing time. Yes, we might let a couple in. We might do. They might score 2 if we're 4-0 up. They might score 2 once we put some players on, but I don't care about that. I'm certainly not caring about the clean sheet tomorrow. But yeah, as always, thank you ever so much, my podcast brother. It's always you and me.
You're welcome, man. Anytime.
But where can everyone find you, Brenny?
Find me on Twitter under Brenny K74 and on Instagram as well. I'm going to be just releasing some. What I'm going to be doing on Instagram, probably starting from Saturday, will be I get called retro by my family and friends and that, and I'm going to be starting some retro Arsenal classics, goals, probably goalkeepers, great saves, Seaman, John Lukic, Pat Jones, you name it, and that's what I'm going to be going with as well. So just be something to enjoy, and for the younger ones as well.
Well, that sounds
And
awesome.
yeah, and also may put in a little sign from '89 as well. Bit of Martin Hayes, some classic stuff.
Yeah, that's Arsenal.
Oh, and Ian Wright. Can't forget Ian Wright.
Yeah. Antonio has called us the B&B previews. Fair enough. Here's the B&B previews. But you'll see me tomorrow. I will be back to do the watch along. I'll also be on KB Sports in an hour, which is Cole, who came on last week with me. So yeah, I'll be doing.
I'll be in the chat tomorrow. I'll be in the chat tomorrow for the watch along, definitely.
Yeah, and then I'll be back twice on Friday. I've got 2 previews to do on Friday. One in the morning, one late at night. I'm splitting them up for some reason, mainly to get Luke on to do a preview with me. So Luke will be doing a challenge on Friday. So Luke, you better start reading up on Crystal Palace. But yeah, I will be joined by a Palace fan at 9 o'clock on Friday night. Rich from Eagle Eye Football will be joining me. So that will be an interesting chat. Then on Saturday, there is a big new thing that FTSN are doing. It's called The Score. We're going live at 3 o'clock. We will be bringing updates from all the scores at 3 o'clock, including Scottish Premier League and also my favourite league, National League. I love it. It's so fun down there. And I'll be back on Sunday for the Manchester United Fulham game. So yeah, I'll be around, and then we'll be back with loads of stuff over the international break. Just because it's international break does not mean the Armoury is going anywhere. We'll just have different content. We'll have different chats about different stuff. But guys, thank you all for coming in, joining in the conversation. But right now, we are definitely out of it. And as always, before we go, come on, you guys. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All the best.